Hello everyone, welcome to Fatty's Feast, where we make the best food you'll ever eat without leaving your backyard. My name is Josh, and today I'm going to be showing you how to smoke up the most delicious prime rib you'll ever eat. Let's get started. Yeah, I'm back, and I figured this would be a wonderful video to kick this channel back off. Everything's been very well. I'll talk more about that later on, but what we're doing today is really, really cool. Look at this guy. This is a 12.5 pound rib roast. I got this guy from my good friend Dan. The thing looks absolutely amazing. We got great marbling in there. Look at this stuff. That's beautiful. So we're gonna smoke it up, and we're gonna have a delicious product in the end. Now I'm gonna keep this pretty simple, like I do pretty much for everything. And you can make this as complicated with butter, paste, and garlic and herbs if you wanna do that. I don't wanna do that, I don't have time. So let's move this bad boy here. Let's start with a bowl, and in here I'm gonna throw some spicy brown mustard. I know, mustard, oh my God. Just about a 1/4 cup. And then some Worcester sauce. And we'll just put a few dabs in there. Then we'll give it as I get it everywhere. We're gonna give it a nice stir around. All I'm really trying to do here is make this spicy brown mustard a little less thick. And plus that Worcester sauce is gonna add a little bit of flavor. That's still a little too thick for my liking, so add a little bit more, just like that. And this is going to be our binder. Once again, you can do whatever you want. You can do a garlic butter paste. You can do olive oil if you wanna just keep it simple. This is what I do, because I love mustard. And there we go, something like that. And now we'll take our guy here, and we'll just slather this on like so. I'm being pretty generous with this. And then we'll flip them over. Get this side as well. And I'm using all of this. I might have made a little too much, that's okay. It's gonna add to the flavor, so I'm fine with it. And that's what I got left. I'll add a little bit of that to the top when we flip it again. And we can see this guy already came with the butcher twine pre-tied. I'm not gonna screw with it. I'm not gonna take any bones out. I'll wait till afterwards. If you wanna do that, you can, and just retwine it. So I'm gonna come in with some of my Grillaholics salt, pepper, garlic. Like I said, we're being a little liberal with this. It's a big cut of meat. Then because I love me some pepper, a little extra coarse ground black pepper. That's what we're gonna do for the bottom. And now we'll come up top here. As you all know by now, I like to stick with my simple rubs because I just don't want to block a lot of the smoke flavor. Even though the mustard may do that, I think we're gonna be in good shape. And the other side here. And now our presentation side. So I'll take this remaining mustard, throw that on. Now I wanna start with this right here. So I'm just gonna tip it up a little bit. And then we will come over the top of our guy. And here we have it, a perfectly seasoned prime rib roast. Look at this beauty. Now I've been building a fire in my smoker, so let's see where we're at. Yes. Here we are. We are in the backyard, if you couldn't tell earlier, and we are back at this old girl, the Old Country Brazos. Now, like I said in my walkthrough video for the Patriot Pits Freedom 94, I was only able to keep that smoker for 6-7 months. I think it ended up being 7 months, just about. Unfortunately, Dan did ask to take his pit back to get some upgrades up at their shop, even though it's a perfect pit as it is. So in turn, I said, give me that rib roast and I'll give you your pit back. I'm just kidding. I didn't hold this smoker hostage, even though I wanted to. But the good news is I have been in talks with Jason, and I will be getting a Patriot Pits pit. I'm not going to tell you what I'm getting or what we're working on possibly, but I think it's gonna be really great. I think you guys are gonna love it when it finally does come. But yeah, today's gonna be weird because I haven't cooked on this thing in about 8 months. So let's check our fire. I will say I do prefer being in the backyard smoking instead of in my driveway. Well, we got a good bed of coals worked up there. We should be good to throw our roast on. This door, much easier to open, I will say that. I'm gonna throw this guy with the meteor side facing the fire just for some added protection. We'll put it like that. So unfortunately with this guy, we have to put a probe right here near the stack and a probe right in front here. So first probe will go right there, rear probe will go right here. And then something I never do, but I'm gonna do it here, I'm gonna probe this bad boy right in the center so we can get an internal temp throughout the cook. And we'll shut her down. So as I previously stated, this is gonna be an interesting cook because I haven't cooked on this thing in a long time. I'm actually using small splits that I took from my wood pile down there when I was cutting up appropriate splits for the Freedom 94. So I'm gonna burn through these probably pretty quick, but these are perfect for the Brazos. I tend to have a little bit bigger pieces, maybe like an inch longer and an inch thicker. So these will work fine. And this is hickory wood that we're using. So we're gonna add some smoke flavor to start off. We're gonna aim for about 250 degrees. Obviously on this smoker, a little bit more difficult to run than the Patriot Pits. So we might swing between 225 and 275. It is what it is. And the reason I put that probe in the middle instead of waiting a few hours is because I wanna know my internal temps the entire time we're cooking. This is going to be a short cook. It needs to come out perfect. There's not a lot of wiggle room for error with these kind of roasts. Plus, this is an expensive cut of meat, so I don't want to screw it up. So we're just going to maintain those temps for now, add delicious smoke flavor, and I'll see you guys in about 2 hours. All right, so we are just about at the 2 hour mark, actually just over. I'm making me a nice little garlic butter baste. I'm just gonna stir this around until it's nice and melted. Should take about 10 minutes. Then also right on top, I got a little bundle of rosemary. I'll just throw that right in. Now notice I didn't put any fresh garlic in there and the rosemary's still in the bundles. It might break apart a little bit, but I'm not using rosemary petals or anything like that from a shaker. The reason is we still have quite a ways to go in this cook. And by quite a ways, I mean, you know, another hour or two. Nothing crazy, but that is perfect amount of time for any kind of butter or rosemary to burn on the smoker. So I'm trying to avoid that best I can. This rosemary is just going to add a little bit of added flavor. And then the garlic juice just came out of the minced garlic container I had in my fridge. So I'm going to wait till this melts down. Give me 10 minutes. We'll check our bad boy out. All right, at this point, 2.5 hours in, I'm just looking to make sure the bark is set. Feeling around here, everything feels pretty damn good. Everything is sticking nicely. Don't got a lot of my finger there, so we are good to go to start basting this guy. I want to bring your attention to this guy right here. Maybe, there we go, 78.7 degrees internal. We're right on track. And I'm actually keeping this a little lower than I expected because I don't want to overcook this or let it rest for too long waiting for people to show up. So I'm just gonna remove this real quick. Gonna throw a foil pan right in here, right over top. So let's do it that way, that looks good. Shove this guy right back in. Then I got my delicious herb butter here. Looks pretty good. We got some little things that fell off the rosemary, that's okay. So now the process is simple. I'm just gonna baste this guy, throw a little bit on top, just move it around. I'm not really brushing it on because I don't want to move the seasoning at all. And if you get some rosemary that comes off or falls out, that's okay. But we'll just drip it on just like so. Look at that. Let me move to this side. That looks better. So we'll go all around the edges. So I'm just doing an even coating all around. Look at that. Oh yeah, that's hot. One more coat right on top there. And we are looking pretty damn good, I think. Shut her down. So we're just gonna keep our temps at 250. Like I said, I've been running them a little low because I don't want to overcook the thing. We'll let it go till about 1:15. So I'm assuming another hour or so, which will be perfect timing for me. If you didn't have to wait for something or wait for people to show up or time it perfectly, you could already be taking this guy off to rest probably. It's been sort of a little thing I've had to do, but it doesn't matter. We want it to be good when we want it to be done, and it needs to be perfect. So I'll bring you back in about another hour. I'm just gonna keep doing that basting process every 20 to 30 minutes. We'll go with that. We just want it to be buttery and delicious. Okay, so it's been another 2 hours since we last checked in. Like I said, taking it low and taking it slow because now my family's on the way over. We're sharing this for Mother's Day, so I didn't want to rush anything. But let me show you what we're working with, and then we're going to sear this bad boy up. So we've reached an internal temperature of 115, and look at this guy. Looking freaking hot. Herb butter's going on every 20 minutes or so. I've done about 3 or 4 applications of it. It's looking nice. So I'm gonna pull this tray out here, take this out. I'm gonna take these probes out for a second. I'm gonna throw this guy right in here, right in this tray. Throw this back on and then take him out. Ooh, he's thick. here we go. We're just gonna let them rest right about there, and we'll close this down. I'm going to dump the remainder of the herb butter right on here. Just gonna try to keep that rosemary right out of there. We'll just let that soak while this guy rests for a bit. Oh, that's hot. Now let's go over to our fire here. I'm gonna spread the pieces we have on here out a little bit, and we're gonna bump these temperatures up pretty freaking high. We'll do something like this, a little less room to work with than on the Patriot Pits, so that might be pretty good. So what I'm trying to do now is bump my temps up to about 400. We're gonna put this roast back on. We're gonna put it more in the middle, but I really wanna get a good sear on this guy. We're gonna finish off the cooking process by really crusting this whole thing up. And I'm taking my roast off to let it sit for a bit because I don't want it to continue cooking while I'm raising the temperatures of the smoker. It's almost like if I were to throw a ribeye steak in a cold pan. It's not gonna get a good sear, right? The same concept goes for a smoker. We're not throwing it in a pan filled with oil. We want it to get on there, be nice and hot, and we want it to crisp up the edges very well. So bumping up these temps should take about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll let this bad boy sit, and then we'll throw them back on. So we're gonna put this guy right about here, closer to the fire, so we can get a nice crisp on the edges. I'm gonna take all this stuff and I'm just gonna dump it back into my pan so I can melt that down for sauce later. So now we're gonna maintain temps around 400 degrees for about 20 minutes or so. This thing has continued cooking to, I think it was about 120. So we only have a few more minutes to go, and then we'll take it off. We'll let it rest for, what do you think, 10 minutes? I'm talking to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10 minutes. All right, sounds good. We're doing this for Mother's Day. I don't know if I mentioned that. So say hi to Mom. She's gonna be part of the taste test. And I use seasoning in this, so she's gonna be a little upset. We'll see what happens. We'll see you in a few. Okay, so the first thing I'm gonna do here with this beautiful piece of meat is I want to take this bone out, and it was already wrapped. I took the string out, and this bone is already pretty much falling apart. So let's take that out as I almost lose grip of my knife here. Perfect. And then we got some beautiful meat there. And now let's cut into this guy and see what we have. Looks pretty damn good to me. Now, it might be a little bit overdone for some of you folks out there. That's okay though, because I asked what my family wanted and this is what they wanted. So if you want to cook it a little less, that's fine. Actually, in this case, what I did is I took it off at about 128. I let it rest for a few minutes and it continued cooking until about 135. So we're at a nice medium temperature. If you want to do a rare, you can do that. Take it off at about 115, let it rest till it gets to 120, whatever. Doesn't matter, you do what you want to do. If you like well done, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna give you shit though. So this looks pretty damn good to me. And you'll notice that on the edge here, it's a little bit more done because we took that bone out. So if you had a boneless ribeye or you took the bone out before you put it on the smoker, you'd have a little different result. But I wanted the bone in to add a little bit of extra flavor, and I think this guy looks delicious. And because it's Mother's Day, here we go, MB's with us. So we're gonna take a piece of this. Is this done to your liking, you think, or no? You sure?
Yeah.
Okay, well here's your piece.
Thank you.
So we got a crust that's not as crusty as I'd like, but it's good enough. I think we're gonna be fine.
Very good.
She always says that because she's
Awesome.
my mom, but
No, it's good.
I mean, it could be better. I don't know how, but
It's good.
it's good. It's satisfactory. That's all we get.
Yeah.
But like I said, if you want to do this a little less done, if you will, there's a cat hair in my mouth, of course. The cats were outside accompanying me while I smoked this, so I'm not surprised. Somehow cat hair got in the smoker. What, you want another piece, you said? But it's pretty damn good. Even with the seasoning just being on the outside, the bark's pretty good.
Good job.
I mean, pretty damn good. What I love about this is you don't have like, yeah, we have this fat here that's like, yeah, we're gonna cut it off because it's gristly fat, but it's not like a typical prime rib where you just have a bunch of fat that you just don't like, right? We're not at a restaurant, we're not eating a ton of just gross fat, you know? Yeah, that stuff. And then we have some sauce over here, some smoky sauce that I have the ribs resting in, if we wanna use that. So you can do whatever you want. It's all about what you want, and that's life, right? So hate me, love me. Oh, absolutely, anything for you. But that'll do it for this episode of Fatty's Feast. If you did, in fact, like what you saw, please smash that like button just like I smashed this piece of meat. Get my content out to more people, and leave a comment on things you want to see on the Blackstone griddle, on the smoker, doesn't matter, I'll do it all. Over here, I'm gonna put a video specifically designed for you, you're gonna love it. Over here, what is this? This is meat. So we're gonna do a smoker meat playlist, hours of entertainment just for you. And then smack dab in the middle, you can subscribe if you love this diabetic, average beard face so much. Until next time, stay safe, stay happy, stay healthy, and stay hungry.